नित्यानन्देश्वरसमारम्भां नित्यानन्देश्वरिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome you all with my love and respects. I welcome all the two-way video conferencing centers, ashrams, adhinams, temples, universities, schools participating with us all over the world. Literally, every time zone, almost every country from all over the world, and all the participants who are sitting in Bangalore Adhinam, in Shaktipada and Shaktinipada. Sitting in Bangalore Adhinam from all over the world, Shaktipada. Sitting all over the world from Bangalore Adhinam, Shaktinipada. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. Be your own boss. First principle is correcting the blueprint you carry inside you. Listen. Whatever you cherish in your heart, secret chambers of your heart, you attract that, you manifest that, you make that into your reality. So what you carry in your heart, in your secret chamber, in your being, in your depth, about being your own boss. Listen. The idea you carry, the idea you cherish, the idea you enjoy, being your own boss. What do you think as being your own boss? That need to be corrected, aligned. The first principle is correcting, aligning the blueprint. Drop the paper and pen. First listen. I don't think you need an enlightened notebook after the program. You need an enlightened being after the program. I am more capable to put these truths in your being than your capacity to put these truths in your notebook. So please drop the notebooks. Just sit. I'll put these truths in your being. Listen. Poor man's idea about rich man is not rich man. Poor man's idea about rich life is not rich life. Careful. Listen carefully. Slave's idea about freedom is not real freedom. Like India's freedom. Still, the education system of the British has not left India. So-called so many years of independence, I don't even know how many years. Still, the judicial system of British has not left us. I forget about all that. We have not left the British first. Slave's idea of freedom is not freedom. Poor man's idea of rich life is not rich life. Worker's idea about boss is not real boss. Listen. Listen carefully. If you were really poor and you had an idea, you built an idea about rich life. See, in your cognition you have been poor. In your depth you have been poor. You perceive poverty as you, and in your logic, in your imagination, you build an idea of rich life. Even if you are showered with wealth, you will start living only the poor man's version of rich life. Understand? I call something as off-the-grid richness. See, hooked to the grid richness, all of you know. Your shares, car, house, metal. Richness hooked to the grid is things. Off-the-grid richness is experiences. Person who collects only richness hooked to the grid can never be rich. Yes, multiple zeros in your bank balance, large quantity of precious metals, and the huge bungalows, cars, things. Things make you a thing. Understand? Just things make you a thing. In course of time, almost as nothing, because everything is made to make you more and more lazy and non-involving. That is what you call as comfort and luxury. Automating your life is what you call as comfort and luxury. So all the things make you a thing. I am not against things. Listen. I am asking you only one thing. Does things alone can make you rich? No. Wealth hooked to the grid. Richness off the grid. Listen carefully. Person who knows to collect both only lives a real rich life. It is very unfortunate. You give so much of importance to collecting things hooked to the grid. And many of you don't even think there is something called off the grid rich, off the grid richness. Because this richness cannot be measured, the system has not evolved method to measure and brag in the night parties. This is my net worth. The most sickening concept even the NRIs learned. See, somebody from different culture, different country, when they say, utter a word, this is their net worth. At least I feel okay, that is the way they thought, that's the way they are brought up, okay. But NRI fellows talking in US, in the night parties, their share values and home value and their bank balance, totaling that and saying, this is my net worth. Come on, you are Hindu. Stop being stupid. You are expected to be matured. Grid-bound wealth. Cannot be called as richness. I am not saying become homeless, renounce, throw away all the grid-bound wealth. No. All I am saying is grid-bound wealth cannot claim itself as richness. The idea of richness need to be acid washed with completion. Understand? When your depth cognition perceives yourself as poor, the ideas your logic generates, your breath, heart cherishes about the richness cannot be real richness. Your depth cognition need to be acid washed. You need to flush out the idea of poverty from your depth, your cognition. When idea of poverty is removed from your depth, from your cognition, then the idea of richness, your logic, length enjoys, your fantasy, breath, heart enjoys. Only that can be real richness. Please understand. I still remember a small incident happened. In my childhood days. As children, for us the hero is only the candy shop owner in the street corner of our villages. Of course, every village street corner in India will have a candy shop. It will always be Chettiar, Reddiyar, Nayar. That candy shop owner is the first hero because he has so much candy. I asked one of my brothers, what will you do if you get lot of money? He said, I will put all the money with the candy shop owner and eat as much as I want, whole day and night. That is the idea of his richness. Understand? That is all his idea of his richness. When you hear this reply, you have a smile in your face, but you don't understand. All your ideas of richness also is same thought current. Understand, when your cognition experiences poverty, your logical ideas about wealth, your fantasy ideas about rich life cannot be richness. So even if you get wealth, you will only make this concept of richness as reality. You will be stinking with the money smell. Understand? If you think money saves you from many difficulties, you are practical. If you think money is savior, you are gone. You are doomed. Money saves but not savior. There's a big difference. The idea of richness you carry when your depth cognition experiences poverty can never be real richness. Same way, the ideas about freedom you carry can never be right when your cognition depth perceives yourself as bound. The other day we were having discussion with my first circle. Discussions were going on how some of the organizations degrade after the master leaves the body, how some of the disciples completely change their lifestyle when they leave the master, or master leaves them, or master is no more in the body. I said, I made one statement, listen, now if Aranagiri Yogeshwara, Vibhudananda Devi, Raghupati Yogi, my gurus, if they come back, they will be so happy about my personal life. They will be shocked. I have not even changed the way I eat. Understand? Not only what I eat, even the way I eat. Because I have not received instructions from them, I received cognitions from them. Whatever I received from my gurus is not instruction, it is cognition. Understand? I did not feel, I did not cognize I was slave when I was with my masters. I did not cognize I was slave when I was under them. That is why I do not have cheap versions of freedom to manifest when they are not there in my life. I did not receive instructions. If I would have received instructions from them, the moment they are gone, wow! Then whatever is your idea of freedom, you will start living it. I never received instructions. I never gathered instructions from them. I gathered cognitions from them. So if they come back, they will feel exactly I am as they left. Understand? Cognitions are the real richness. Right cognitions established in the space of completion is the real richness. Your cognition about rich life established in completion will manifest rich life. Nothing can stop. Understand? If you think, I know how to manifest rich life, it is not happening, Swamiji. People come and tell me, I know how to manifest rich life, but it's not happening, Swamiji. Then be very clear, you do not know. Everything starts with Saraswati. Saraswati is capable of manifesting Lakshmi and Durga. If the wealth and Shakti is not manifesting, be very clear, something is wrong with your knowledge, with your Saraswati. Correct there. Starts with Saraswati. All solutions starts with Saraswati. Don't think you can solve the issues based on Lakshmi or Durga. Means wealth and power. If you think, I know what I want, but still I am not able to manifest, be very clear, you do not know what you want. You are hardwired to manifest what you want. If you are manifesting difficulties, sufferings, and torture, that is what you want, be assured. Be informed that is what you want. I am not insensitive to you. I am sensible to you. I am not insensitive to you and your suffering. Understand? Your ideas about being your own boss needs acid wash. If you cognize yourself as bound by your boss, and you create a logical ideas and visualization, fantasy about being boss, suddenly, some way, you get the power, you will only be bossing around, you will never be boss. Understand? Bossing around is different, boss is different. Still in your cognition you are a slave, but you got the power, then you will be bossing around. The first principle, acid wash your blueprint with completion. Understand? Whether you want to manifest wealth, whether you want to manifest power, whether you want to be your own boss, starts with the first principle. What is being your own boss? You decide your health. You decide your whole day. You decide what you should do, you should not do. Above all, you decide your mood whole day, how you should be and how you should not be. Deciding not just your moves, deciding your moods. Understand? Not just deciding your moves, deciding your moods too. Be your own boss means not just deciding your moves, deciding your moods. Most of you I should say almost all of you, cognize poverty and create an idea, an ideology about richness. Cognize slaveness, but create theory and theology about freedom. Cognize bondage and create filth and philosophy about being your own boss. Understand? Creating your own theories and theologies, your own ideas and ideologies, your own filth and philosophies is not going to make you your own boss. The first principle is bringing completion to your depth, not just your thought currents. To your depth, bring completion. What is my idea of my own boss, being my own boss? How much of it is based on my past incompletions? How much of it is based on my integrity to my life? Understand, freedom should be integrity to your existence. When you are integrated to your existence, you will enjoy the pleasures. When body is filled with hormones, you will enjoy peace. When the body is devoid of hormones, you will grow matured when the body stops producing hormones. It will be such beautiful flow of life. Else, powerlessness in the young age, physically, but powerfulness mentally is bondage. In the young age, you feel very powerful in the mind, but very powerless in the body because the society around you, you feel the whole society is suppressing you. When you are old, the whole society gives you freedom to do what you want, but you become powerless physically. This whole conflict will not happen. Understand? The whole conflict will not happen if you acid wash your ideas about richness, your ideas about freedom, your ideas about being your own boss. Being your own boss is not deciding when you will go to your office or when you will go to golf club. It is all about deciding whether do you really need golf. The stupid game. Because your boss was doing that and you are waiting for him to come back, your anger and vengeance against him towards this whole boss idea. When you become boss, you do the same. Making your staff to wait and you will be tuck, tuck, tuck. Fools. It is not about golfing. It is understanding, do you really need golfing? The first principle is acid wash your ideas of being your own boss. I have seen many of you become rich just to take revenge on your relative who was rich and did not help you when you were poor. Oh. Many of you acquire titles, awards, rewards, just to take on revenge on somebody. By the time you reach that goal, the person is not even alive. He is not even alive. And you are stupid, trying to prove yourself to somebody who is dead. Look around and look in. Look around and look in. What is your depth? Understand? Your length, logic creates ideas. Your breath, heart converts that ideas into ideology. Your length, logic creates theories. Your breath, heart converts that into theologies. Your length creates filth, and your breath creates that into philosophies. Understand? The source material for all philosophy is filth. It's not. I am doing some poetic verbal play. It's truth. If at all I am able to destroy something on the planet Earth, first thing I will destroy is philosophies. Philosophies kept human beings away from philosia, darshana, the reality. When your cognition depth is established in the completion, from that completion, the ideas of richness you create will simply become reality. From that completion, the idea of power you create, you will simply manifest. From that completion, the idea of being your own boss you create, you will simply manifest it. Understand? As I said, richness is not always grid bound. Most of us do not even understand there is something called off the grid richness. Experience. Understand? A person with 10 crore grid bound richness, a person with just 1 crore plus inner awakening, off the grid richness is surely much more richer. Understand? Unfortunately, if you cognize the idea of richness, if you think, if you create theories and theologies of richness, when you are perceiving poverty in your life, you will only think 10 crore is richness, not the off the grid richness, the experiences as richness of your life. I have seen these stinking fellows. Stinking means believing only grid bound richness as richness. Stinking with money and no experience of life. When you leave the earth, when you leave the planet, your experiences carry you, not the grid bound wealth. Understand? Grid bound wealth is useful as long as you are grid bound. Death is the greatest freedom you receive from the grid. When you are off the grid, it is your experiences that will be counted as your richness, not the grid-bound richness. Grid-bound richness is great as long as you are bound within the grid. Look into your ideas of richness. Look into your ideas of powerfulness. Look into your ideas of what is being your own boss. The moment I utter the word be your own boss, you think I can design my whole day, all my moves. But you don't understand. You will be real boss only if you can decide mood of the whole day also, not just moves of the whole day. I'll say mood and moves both should be in your freedom. If I have to choose, I'll choose the moods than the moves. I'll choose the moods than the moves. When you are not able to handle your moods, better to be slave of somebody who has the best mood. That is 1,000 times better than having only freedom to change your moves but not moods. Few minutes, dig out your incompletions, ideas you carry about being your own boss. If you suddenly win a lottery and from tomorrow, no why tomorrow, today, from today, you are your own boss. What are you going to do? How is your life is going to be? And your ideas, theories, theologies, why you want to be like this? What is the reason you want your life in this way? Think and pen down what you want to be, how you will be your own boss. Second, why you will be like that. You may think, I'll be in the golf court all the time, fully drunk. I think better to be slave than fully drunk and being in the golf cart. Why you want to be like that? Because that is what is your idea of being your own boss when you were slave. If you are slave and create an idea about power, even if you get power, it becomes politics, not power. If you have an idea of poverty and you get wealth, you don't become wealthy. Wealth stinks around you. Many times I have seen people who try to put wealth as their visiting card and try to bully me. I have seen when people come, they try to put wealth as their visiting card and try to bully me. That is why I put this golden throne and this Rudrakshas. Move back. It is just to make a statement. Step back. It is too stinking. People ask me, why so much of gold and golden throne, Swamiji? It is just making a statement, step back. Enough. Understand, many times you don't become wealthy just to enjoy the richness. You become wealthy to take revenge. You don't become powerful to be integrated to your being. You become powerful just to take the revenge. When you want power just to take revenge, you are communist. Have you ever seen communists contributing something? The economy, the idea of money itself, the idea of money of the communists is such a stupid idea. Their idea about God, their idea about money, everything is so stupid. They think money is something somewhere there. We just have to grab and share it with everyone. Money is just all our collective ability to contribute to each other's life is money. All our ability to be current is currency. Our abilities to manifest, generation, operation, destruction, handling delusion and liberation is Godel. These communist fellows, they think God is somewhere there or is not there. Money is somewhere there. We will catch and distribute it to all. The collective idea of richness by the bunch of poor fellows, collective idea of power by the bunch of slaves is communism. I am not promoting capitalism. Understand? I promote responsibilism. Understand? It is time, few minutes you spend within you to find out your ideas about being your own boss. Your ideas about wealth. I'll rather call somebody who gathers experiences left and right from life as wealthy than people who are loaded, filthy rich, grid-bound wealth. Actually, grid-bound wealth should not be called as filthy rich. Why two words? Filthy is enough. You don't need a second word. It is time. I tell you, actually it is time. Society has come to a level, almost everyone can afford everything, other than the few poverty pornography done by the missionaries. I call it as poverty pornography. All the time India is being presented with a starved kids having the aluminium plates in the hand and begging for food. I do not know where they do that photo shoots. It's all high HD photos. If you are able to photograph that, that money is much more than enough to feed that kid and satisfy. It's a poverty pornography, not the real service. The atrocities missionaries have committed on India. . for their Nobel Prize. The richest economy, they invade, break the back. The only reason we have been conquered is we were very dharmic in warfares. Nothing else, I tell you. We have not lacked anything. The only thing, my ancestors were very dharmic, even in the war. They will not attack in the night. They will not attack uninformed. So much of dharma, even in the war. Otherwise, we would have never allowed. Otherwise, never the desert land fellows can conquer the rich, fertile Indus Valley civilization. The only flaw we had, we were too dharmic. The ideas you carry about your wealth, your richness, about you and things around you, British broke the backbone and pushed us into artificial poverty. And then they promote the same poverty all over the world, saying India is poor because of what they believe. Oh God. Yes, we believed you. That is the reason we are poor. We believed you. You will at least be little dharmic. That's the reason we are poor. Look into your ideas of poverty, ideas of wealth, ideas of slavery, and ideas of powerfulness, ideas of being a worker, ideas of being your own boss. Write first ideas. Second, ask why that idea got developed into your system. You will understand your incompletions. Incompletion means the past thoughts, emotions, patterns, hangovers, residues sitting in the present and suffocating you, not letting you live your future. Understand? Even if you live richest life as per your imagination which you developed when you were poor, you will not be living rich life. You will be living the rich life as you imagined when you were poor. It will only be the poor man's rich life. It will only be the worker's boss life. It will only be the slave's free life. More than richness, you need to understand what for you need rich life. More than power, you need to know what for you need power. More than being your own boss, you need to know why you want to be your own boss. The first principle is acid wash your incompletions. I'll lead you into the second principle after this. So take few minutes and pen down why you want to be your own boss. What do you mean by being your own boss? Pen down the answer for both the questions. What you think of being your own boss, your ideas, and why you want to be your own boss. Please pen down answers for both the questions. The second principle, understand? I'll repeat the first principle. First principle is acid washing your idea of be your own boss and why you want to be your own boss, what you want to be and why you want to be. Understand? Knowledge clarity, Saraswati, understanding is the foundation on which anything can be built. People always tend to say, oh, I don't understand all that, Swamiji. You just say what I have to do, I'll do. You will not do if I just say. Even if I make you understand, you won't do. It's different. Whenever people come and tell me, oh, this is all too much, I cannot understand. You just tell me what I have to do, I'll do. I have always seen those people are worst failures. Understanding is the foundation. It's a basic necessity. Please understand. It is from your understandings you collect cognitions. Cognitions. From cognitions you manifest. It is from your understandings you collect cognitions. From cognitions you manifest. So even in the understanding level, if some things are not there, it is missing, then no way you are going to cognize it and manifest it. So the first principle is why you want to do what you want to do. Even with this understanding, thinking through, internalizing, how many of you realized many of your ideas of boss is silly? Raise your hand. Relax. Understand. If you cognize you are sexually suppressed and your idea of freedom, the moment you grow up and get your freedom, first thing you will do, you will become a womanizer. If you cognize you are deprived of food, playing, anything, the moment you get a chance, first thing you will do is going to the other extreme. No extreme is freedom. Understand? No extreme is freedom. Powerfulness is freedom. When Sadashiva describes about the dress in the Agama, Sadashiva beautifully describes about food, dress, place of stay, such precise definitions. If you are new to Hindu tradition, I will introduce the word Agama. Agama means Sadashiva expressed, Devi received, and Vishnu adopted that as a software to run the universe. Agama is oldest and most updated software to run the universe. Oldest and most updated. Incarnations are the updations. How when you open your gadgets, iPad or laptop, that update requests come. Same way when you happen on the planet Earth, incarnations appearing in your life is update requests. Understand? A guru happening in your life is update request. You can say not now. You can say remind me later. You can say now. You have a freedom. But guru happening in your life is opening not just Windows 10 or Windows 11. It's a door. It's an update request. We have updated, please download. Given by Sadashiva, received by Devi, adopted as a software to run the universe by Sadashiva, by Vishnu, is Agama. Given by Sadashiva, received by Devi, adopted as a software to run the universe by Vishnu, maintainer, cosmic maintainer, is Agama. He describes beautifully in Agama, Sadashiva describes very beautifully about food. It describes whatever your physical body, Bhaudika Sarira, cannot absorb directly from the nature to run itself in highest energy, should be added as a food in the system. It's a very beautiful truth. If I have to start explaining, it will take, I think, another 2-3 hours. I'll give just 2 lines, because it is required for you to understand this basic 2-3 understandings. So I'll help you to understand the second principle. The second principle needs little introduction. See, he says, first you should directly start working with the nature, like breathing, walking barefoot, taking bath in the local water body. With all these, at least for 21 days, work with all this without any solid food. Surely you won't die in 21 days. With a deep breathing means whatever body can absorb directly from the nature. Lot of detoxification will happen in the 21 days. Just with the water, breathing, whatever body can directly absorb from the nature by walking with the barefoot and completing with all the foot patterns. Then, after that, whatever is needed for the body, only support those things in the form of food. The very concept of food is different. Not that wherever you see the big boats and whatever biggest size they sell, up. Now the very concept of food, you see, go to fundamentals again and again when you have a problem. When you have a problem, again and again, go to fundamentals. Same way clothes. That is actually clothes is not very simple issue. It is too much of complication. Somebody feels empowered by modesty, covering themselves completely. Somebody feels empowered by nudity, exposing themselves. Somebody feels empowered by mixture of both. Sadashiva says beautifully, whatever empowers you, design your dress in that way. Neither nudity nor modesty, neither covering yourself completely nor exposing yourself completely. If you are exposing yourself completely for the sake of somebody to see and enjoy, and you are covering yourself completely because somebody is threatening you to cover yourself, both are male chauvinism. Whether it is female body or male body, covering or nudity, modesty or nudity, everything, the scale should be, are you feeling empowered? That's all. It is all about you feeling empowered. There should not be any other interferences. External interference or influence based on somebody's ideas. If somebody feels powerless, you are nude, then he has to cover himself, not you. Understand? Things should be your powerfulness. If you feel powerful by covering yourself completely, modesty, then that should be your lifestyle. That should be your way of holding yourself. In every level, the explanations of Sadashiva and the kind of an understanding he gives. Now listen to the second principle. Neither your ideas about being your own boss is right, nor they are wrong. Listen carefully. Coming to the same understanding principle, neither your nudity nor your modesty is right or wrong. If you are feeling empowered by covering yourself, that is your dress code. If you are feeling empowered by exposing yourself, that is your dress code. What all the ideas about being your own boss empowers you? Listen, when I say empowering, making you feel powerful, joyful, ecstatic, I tell you, sometimes you do some politicking and jump into the seat of the boss. Then you know from where you jump to where. Potato felt the pot and the water in the pot is too hot and it jumped into the fire. Because the pot and the water in the pot is too hot, potato jumping into the fire. Precise stupidity you do because the seat of a worker seems to be too hot, you jump into the seat of the boss. Understand, feeling empowered matters. Feeling complete matters. You may say, no. If I just grab the seat, in 6 months I will become all right. You may become insensitive, but you will not become all right. That is like astrologers telling, oh, next 7.5 years you have Shade Sat. After 2.5 years, Rahu. Then again, 3 years, a very bad Grahas. Then if you ask, oh, after that I will become all right. No, you will be habituated. Now that is exactly, if you are consoling yourself, let me grab the seat by hook or crook. Then in 6 months I will become all right. No, you may become insensitive, but you will not become all right. And one more thing, whenever you become insensitive to some parts of you, that develops as a blind spot and continues to torture you. Understand? Continues to torture you. Completion matters. Feeling empowered matters. To be your own boss. So second principle, listen. Second principle is completing your cognition of slavery, being a subordinate, being a staff, being worker, not being boss. Completion is the second principle. Of course, third principle is responsibility. I call it responsibilism. I want to make this responsibility as a religion. As on now, the religion we practice, at least in India, 3C: cricket, corruption, cinema. 3C is the religion we practice. For any problem, the solution we look is cinema. That's the largest referred spiritual solution center. Now, whenever you have a problem, where you look at? In that movie, how he does. In this movie, how he behaves. Our education system is basically a visual-based system. That is why, if you see all our temples and monuments, I can challenge no other civilization produced such large amount of monuments. I want you to know 1 crore means 10 million stone carved monuments exist in India. As per the government report, stone carved monuments. I am not talking about RCC. We don't respect anything which is less than 1,000 years old. Only if something is 1,000 years old, we even respect, and only if it can withstand 1,000 years, we call them as something decent structure. See, because basically our cognition is janmas, not birth. Understand? Janmas. Janma is different from birth. The word birth is not complete translation of the word janma. Janma means happening. It's from the samdhatu, sambhava. Janma. Birth means it's totally different. The very idea of birth is totally different. Born. We don't believe in birth. We believe only in happening. Sambhava. We are happening. Born means something created out of nothing. No. We are sambhava. Happening. Listen to this truth. The second principle is completion with all the reasons with which you are living, the reasons which are pushing you to become boss. Understand? When you, any reasons you have to become boss, relive them. If they are powerless cognitions, incompletions, they will die. If they are powerful cognitions, they will become strong. That's all. See, reliving is literally acid wash. All the unnecessary things will be washed, necessary things will be strengthened. Listen. Reliving is nothing but manana in Vedic tradition. Internalizing. Many times you grab out of greed and that does not get digested. That's what you need to sit and chew. Ideas also you grab out of greed, but it does not get digested. It sits inside your head undigested. Digesting them is manana. Digesting all your logically, emotionally accumulated, acquired ideas into your cognition properly is completion. Understand? In your length, logic, breath, emotion, visualization, the ideas, concepts you grabbed, dumped, cognizing them rightly into your depth, making them as right cognition by manana, reliving, is completion. Understand, I am redefining completion. When you relive all the ideas you have again and again, all the ideas which makes you powerless starts dying down. They lose power over you. All the ideas which makes you powerful become stronger. They start growing in you. Understand? What needs to grow grows. What needs to go goes. The power of reliving is what needs to go goes. What needs to grow grows. Add or reliving, something goes, something grows. Let me explain clearly the principle of reliving. Listen to this principle. Whatever you wrote as reason why you want to become a boss, do not judge those reasons. Just sit and relive the situations when you took those decisions. Just relive them, means visualize and see again and again exactly as it happened. In which situation you decided you have to take revenge on this fellow by becoming boss. I'll throw my visiting card on his table. I'll throw my visiting card on his face. I'll throw my shoes on his face and my tie on his neck and tighten the tie. You may have what all I don't know. The situations during which you took the decision to become boss, the reason you want to become boss, relive them. Whatever you wrote, can you just read for few minutes so you can understand what I am saying and enter into manana, reliving. Now, relive every situation in your life in which you decided to become your own boss. The incidents, situations made you decide to be your own boss. Relive them and relieve them. Come back to learn the next principle. Today I gave you only 2 basic principles. The next is most important principle. Come back to get that. That will make you your own boss. I bless you all. Let you all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Shuddhatvaita Saivam, Sadashivoham, the eternal bliss, Nityananda. Thank you. Be blissful.